Check, check. Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the inaugural program of this World Health Summit 2025. My name is Pradeep Kakatal.
And I'm Angela, and I'm so honored and privileged to co-host all of you here today. And before we dive into these rich discussions, may I just ask for the door to be closed?
And for everyone who is standing here, there are some seats. Do you know how many people have registered for this conference? Okay, that's pretty close, 4,500 across 54 countries. That's amazing. So please do sit down. There are still a few seats, otherwise you'll probably end up standing if the others land up. So thank you very much.
Okay, good. I just want to take a moment with you before we start off, because this gathering is really more than just a collection of experts. There's committed people over here, passionate about public health, and really passionate about community and what they stand for and their well-being. So in the next few minutes, 1 minute or so, if you can settle down, I'd like to guide us through a brief grounding and gratitude exercise. This isn't just about a moment to pause, but it's really about remembering the deep and shared strength that's brought us here today. It's about grounding ourselves in our resilience, our collective purpose, and gratitude we hold for the journey that we take together every day. This is a space for reflection and action, for connections, not just dialogue. So I invite you to settle in. Please settle in quickly. Take a deep breath. Yes, we forget to breathe through the day. Take a deep breath. And join me in grounding ourselves and join me in, that brought us here and the people who continue to aspire it. Okay, very simple thing. It's not hardcore yoga. When you're seated, please place your feet firmly on the ground. And feel the strength, the quiet strength of the floor beneath our feet. The same earth that has carried us, our communities, through storm, sorrows, and seasons of hope. It is doing now, and it always been. Now, if you wish, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Bring to mind one moment in the past year, where your strength was tested, when the demands of leadership, the weight of injustice, or the grief in your people's eyes felt almost too heavy to bear. And yet, you kept going. This is resilience. It is not the absence of struggle, but the presence of courage. Now, in this moment, widen your heart's view. Picture the faces of those who stood beside you, your family, your friends, your community, frontline workers, policy champion, the quiet helpers that you see every day, and the communities who trusted you. The ones who kept showing up day after day. In your heart, offer them a silent thank you for their strength, for their belief in better days, and for holding you up when you needed it the most. And now turn that gratitude inward to yourself for choosing to care, for choosing to be here today in service of something larger than yourself, any one nation, title, or crisis. Breathe in deeply and breathe out collectively. As we step into this high-level conversation, may we carry this resilience, this gratitude, this fierce shared commitment to public health, dignity, and justice for all people. This room holds centuries of courage And may we honor that as we begin. Thank you, and let us lead with the Spirit. You can open your eyes now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Angela. While we are very grateful that all of us are here, it's a blessing to be here. But also, there are so many people who are not here with us. We want you to stand up for a minute of silence to honor the health workers who have fallen over the years, over the last year, and also a special memory of all the people who died in Pahalgam. We honor them. We thank you. While most of you are still standing, I'm going to ask for two things. How many of you have a mobile phone on you? Okay, great. There's a button called silent on it. Please turn that on. And it's easier, men, to pull it out of your pocket while you're still standing. And for those of the inaugural speakers, I'm going to request you to come up here, all of you, because we want to take a picture, because some of you, I know you have to leave early. So if I may ask the opening speakers, the inaugural speakers, all of you who are listed as speakers for this evening, may I request you to take a picture? And that is the other reason I was going to say that you can, I know all of us get a withdrawal symptom if you don't have your phone in your hand. So please keep the phone handy, because you're going to use it for taking pictures of the leaders here. Please do join us here for a picture. Okay, while the dignitaries are joining us on stage, I'm going to also ask you one thing. How many of you are on social media? LinkedIn, Facebook, X, everybody. Okay, great. Then I have a task for you. There's no free dinner, no free lunch. So you're going to take pictures now, and through the whole evening, feel free. How many of you know what's the hashtag for this conference, for this summit? WHS? Okay. I can't hear you. Okay, go ahead and tweet it and use it. Okay? I'm watching. We want to be the trending hashtag for this evening. Okay, thank you very much.
And we begin with a welcome from Dr. Balveer Singh, the Chief Patron of the World Health Summit Regional Meeting. Sir, please stay on. We'll now hear from Dr. Balveer, Chief Patron of World Health Summit Regional Meeting. Thank you.
Good evening. Namaste. Distinguished guests, esteemed delegates, members of the World Health Summit Academic Alliance, colleagues, friends, and partners in health. It's a great honor and privilege to welcome you to the World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2025 for the first time ever in India at the iconic Thank you. At the iconic Bharat Mandapam in the heart of our national capital, New Delhi, we are deeply honored by the presence and support of many distinguished dignitaries and global leaders, including Sharjuram Begwal is just in the way. Welcoming Sri Anurag Thakur, former Minister of Sport, Youth Affairs and Minister of Information and Broadcasting. Professor Dr. Atul Goyal, Director General of the Health Services, Government of India. Dr. Harshvardhan, former Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare. We are especially grateful to the Government of India under the visionary and dynamic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and able guidance Minister Shri Amit Shah ji, and Honorable Health Minister J.P. Nadda ji, for the extraordinary strides India has made in transforming healthcare delivery, infrastructure and access, and blessing this grand global meeting in India, New Delhi. I am very grateful of these dynamic and global leaders. For other important guests, Mr. Anand, WHO Zero, Dr. Eduardo Benjon, Director, Health ADB, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, former Chief Scientist, WHO and former DG ICMR, Dr. Axel Price, President of World Health Summit Germany, Dr. Elena Kishbuk, Patron of WHO's regional meeting, and welcome Dr. Saima Wajid, Regional Director, WHO Southeast Asia, Ms. Helen Clark, former Minister, Chief Minister of New Zealand, and Prime Minister of New Zealand, and former Administrator of UNDP, Mr. Sanjay Vijay Sekra, Director UNICEF South Asia, Ms. Mio Oka, Country Director India, Asian Development Bank. Welcome Dr. Amitabh Kant, G20 Sherpa and former CEO, Niti Aayog, Shri Dinesh Arora, Asian Development Bank, Dr. Mahesh Verma, the Vice Chancellor of Indraprastha University, Dr. Anurag from Ashoka University, and other additional Chief Secretaries of Government of India and from different states of India. Mr. Hari from Gates and Foundation, and Hari Haran from Siemens Healthiers. With this, my colleagues, friends and ladies and gentlemen who have arrived from 54 countries across the globe, and you can say this is a global meeting in a regional area. Your presence inspires confidence in our global efforts and adds great strength to this summit and reaffirms the spirit of global solidarity and partnership that defines our collective mission to build a healthier, more equitable and resilient world for all. I would also like to share that the momentum continues tomorrow as well with the keynote addresses of distinguished dignitaries, including Shri Piyush Goyal, Honorable Minister, Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, Shri Mansukh Mandavia ji, Honorable Union Minister of the Labour, Employment and Youth Affairs and Sports and former Health Minister of India. Well, I must thank our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Under his guidance and leadership, because of the launching of the Ayushman Bharat Yojana and further the Ayushman Bharat portability, the world's largest publicly funded health insurance program, providing free treatment up to 5 lakhs and above per family per year to millions of citizens, and that's Indian population is 1.4 billion and above. It is a moment towards dignity, protection, and care for every Indian household. This year's regional meeting stands as a milestone, not just for the World Health Summit, but for India's leadership in global health. Well, I'm proud to share that this summit is having more than now 4,500 plus delegates who participated over 160 sessions across 3 transformative days with a stellar lineup of more than 950 speakers. We will continue over 244 hours of rich scientific, policy, and practical dialogue. We are also having 88 session partners. Welcome to all of you. Well, this diversity is not only in content, but also in composition. As our Modi ji, Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, always say, women empowering. Here we can see more than 50% are women, highlighting our unwavering commitment to gender equality and women's empowerment. Further, over 35% of attendees are youth. This year's regional meeting in New Delhi reflects our collective resolve to address critical health challenges in the region and beyond. And that's why the theme of this regional meeting is scaling access to ensure health equity. मैं हिंदी में कहना चाहूँगा, हमारे आदरणीय प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी का कहना है कि स्वास्थ्य एक नीचे के सबसे छोटे छोटे नीचे के तकबे तक पहुंचना चाहिए. वो हमारा आज का हेडलाइंस है. On us to bridge the gap between innovation and inclusion, between health system and people they serve, from climate and planetary health to universal health coverage, mental health, digital transformation, One Health, maternal and child health, and emergency preparedness. This summit covers all dimensions of the health ecosystem. Our goal is clear: to shift the needle from commitment to action, from ideas to implementation. Now, let me also extend my deepest appreciation to the World Health Summit team, our host partners, session organizers, content leaders, volunteers, and every hands behind the scenes who made this event reality. Welcome. Let's this summit a space of reflection, but also a launch pad for transformation. Let our ideas travel across borders, our partnership grow deeper, and our commitment translate into impact. My friends, once again, I welcome to all of you with this World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2025. Together, let us craft and a future where health is a universal promise, which is a commitment of our Modi ji, Honorable Prime Minister, powered by science and guided by equity. Thank you. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tomar. He's right. World Health Summit is one of the most influential global platforms to further diplomacy. And the man behind making that platform is Dr. Axel Priest, who also forwarded Germany's agenda to take more responsibility for global public health. May I please invite you to the stage? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the generous words, and I greet you all here. I won't try to repeat Professor Thomas' introduction of all the dignitaries. It's very important that you all are here. Namaste. But it's also important that the young people are here, that the people doing the work are here. So you are all greeted to create a network for global health. And I'm thinking that this is a very, very good moment to have the World Health Summit regional meeting here in India. And it's a perfect push-pull situation. It was the initiative from NIMS and his chancellor in the World Health Summit Academic Alliance to bid for this meeting, but it was also, like Ilona Kickbush said, it was our wish and aim to go to India. So it's a very strong initiative, but it's also built on achievements. India is developing with an enormous energy, and it has a lot of potential. And I don't want or don't need to tell you in which areas that is the case. It's ranging from pharmacological developments to AI to technology. But on the other hand, it's also the strength in items like community medicine or traditional medicine. And the third very relevant point is that people here in India and in the whole region have a different approach to bringing these components together. So it's a synergy of these components, it's their integration, and it's their development where not only India will profit from, but the world will profit from. And therefore, it's extremely relevant that we have this regional meeting, like Professor Thomas said, as a meeting in India, from India and the region for the world. And it will be reflected in its results also at the World Health Summit meeting, which we will have in Berlin in October. We need to create a network. And when you think about the networks, you know that the world is in a kind of a paradigm shift. The constellation of international powers is changing, and this is a chance to redefine relationships. And I think the most relevant thing in redefining the international relationships is that they go to a partnership of many countries dealing with each other on eye level and exchanging what they can do best. Because there's a lot to learn from everyone, every region. And it's no longer exporting technology, exporting knowledge, exporting goods. It's exchanging or mutually exchanging knowledge, approaches, and goods. And then we can hope for a peaceful or more peaceful world. But this chance also brings a lot of responsibility. The countries, and India is such a big country with such a dynamic and such a wealth of developments, but also of people. And therefore, India also has a big responsibility, and I'm very glad to Professor Thoma and the whole NIMS team, and also our host here in India, the Indian government, everyone who supported that this responsibility is actually taken, and India stepping more on the worldwide visibility level, because if you are so big, if you are so successful, you cannot hide. You have to take responsibility. And there's also one responsibility here in this conference, and that's about the responsibility to care for health, but not only in the proper health arena. Health is more than health, if I may say so. Health is the foundation for peace, it's foundation for prosperity, it's a means of international interaction, and therefore health is too important to leave it only to the health experts. And on the other hand, the health experts have to know that health is so important, so they have to communicate what they are doing to the non-health experts. This is especially important if in times of restricted finances and many other problems like wars and so on and so forth. We have to convince the governments, the public at large, that only by health health is one of the indispensable pillars of a future society. And if you look at it from the global perspective, people can disagree about very, very many things, and they can disagree to a degree that they fight each other, which is a disaster. But they agree in their need and their aspiration for health. No matter which religion, which philosophy or what, they all want to be healthy. So we speak a common language, and we should use this common language for the betterment of the world, even if that sounds a little bit big picture. But it starts here. It starts with the 5,000 people at this conference, and from there it has to spread out into larger societies. And I was extremely impressed and overwhelmed by the engagement of all the partners taking place here, contributing here, sorry. And this cooperation and partnership and mutual learning is the main message from this meeting, and that should be a signal to the world. And I hope you have good days here, you take something home, you know that this is not the end of something, it's the beginning of something, and I wish you a very, very good and successful meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Preece. I don't know if you've read Sanskrit, but the Honorable Prime Minister of India said something exactly what you said. Everybody, health for everyone. He said, Sarva loko sukhino bhavantu. That means let there be health for everyone. And that's something that this country is committed to. You spoke about India to the world. Let me look at the rest of the world in this room. Other than people from India, can we have the others just wave? Wonderful. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome to this country. We are looking forward to this joint learning and sharing. Thank you very much. I'll come back because the number of women in this room, I would love to see more women in this, because do you know what percentage of the global health workforce is female? Okay, 70%. So this room should be 70%. That's a commitment that maybe Dr. Preece, you need to have for WHS next time. But to provide more context for this whole conference, for the summit, as well as looking forward, I'm going to invite Ms. Mio Oka, who is the country director for the Asian Development Bank. And just a round of applause for Asian Development Bank, who have been so supportive of this summit. Thank you very much, please.
Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, colleagues from WHO, UNICEF, and IMS, our co-host development partners. Good evening to all. My name is Miyoka, Country Director from Asian Development Bank, and it's such a privilege to welcome you to the World Health Summit regional meeting here in New Delhi. An agile city with resilience, culture, and innovation. As we open this summit, we are called not only to reflect, but to act. Let me offer a framing, an agenda for the days ahead, grounded in 5 shared imperatives. First, financing. Second, climate resilience. And the third, pandemic preparedness. And the fourth, partnerships. And the fifth, equity. First, financing. Health remained underfunded across much of Asia and the Pacific, as we all know. Yet the cost of inaction, from preventable diseases to climate-related emergencies and unprepared health system, is far greater. At ADB, we are working to shift the paradigm. We support countries to mobilize domestic resources more effectively, improve health budget execution, and leverage blended finance to attract more private capital for the public good. But it is not just about more financing. It is about better funding. That means investments in resilient primary care, frontline health workers, and digital tools for underserved populations. It also means ensuring funds reach fragile settings and last-mile communities. Second, on climate resilience. In Asia and the Pacific, climate change is already affecting health through rising vector-borne diseases, heat stress, and disasters that disrupt care. Through ADB's Climate and Health Initiative, we work with countries to develop climate-smart healthcare facilities, low-carbon supply chains, and early warning systems that anticipate, not just react to, crisis. This summit is an opportunity to build in India's strong G20 leadership and COP28 outcomes. Let us embed One Health into global strategies, recognizing that planetary and human health are deeply connected. Third, on the pandemic preparedness, we must move from reactive responses to a proactive approach to health security. Through instruments like Pandemic Fund and the regional platforms such as CAREC, GMS, and ASEAN, we are helping build collaborative surveillance systems, mutual support mechanisms, and technology-enabled public health responses. ADB is expanding investment in regional public goods, data systems, cross-border disease surveillance, and regulatory harmonization, so countries can act early, respond quickly, and recover equitably. Preparedness is not an option. It is a development imperative, and it must be financed accordingly. Fourth, partnerships. We all know that no institution or the government can do this alone. Health challenges are multisectoral, and so must be our responses. For that reason, we must deepen public-private sector partnerships, collaborate with philanthropic organizations, and work across sectors, from transport to education, from energy to environment to design integrated health solutions. Also, digital technology is our strong partner nowadays. Our investment in digital public goods, AI-enabled surveillance, data platforms demonstrate what multi-sector innovation can deliver when aligned with public health norms. Last but not least, equity. At the heart of all these priorities lies equity, our ultimate measure of progress. From this perspective, ADB suggests placing early childhood development at the center of our equity agenda. The first 1,000 days shape a child's development, immunity, and future potential. ADB works across health, education, nutrition, agriculture, and social protection to support integrated ECD models. These investments not only save lives, but yield long-term economic and social benefits. Advancing equity also means addressing complex emerging risks such as antimicrobial resistance, mental health, aging populations, and misinformation. These challenges demand coordinated policy, innovation, and financing responses. As already commented, this World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2025 brings together over 450 speakers across 90 sessions under the theme Scaling Access to Ensure Health Equity. Over the next 3 days, we will share insights, align strategies, and shape practical solutions. But can we also look into beyond this week? In this room, we have the knowledge, the mandates, and the opportunity to chart a new path towards a health system that are resilient, inclusive, and effective. To carry this momentum forward, I'd like to propose an informal alliance among key institutions, NIM's university, WHO, UNICEF, ADB, and philanthropic partners, and so forth, to serve as a platform for ongoing dialogue, piloting solutions and aligning investment around shared priorities. On behalf of ADB, I reaffirm our commitment to this vision. Let us use this summit not only to recognize challenges, but to deliver solutions. Let us turn shared ambition into collective action. Together, we can finance more effectively, partner more strategically, and build a future where no one is left behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Oka. I think there's a very interesting theme that is emerging about how we can come together, collectively act. And there was also the whole India to the world, and the man who's leading that as the G20 Sherpa of India, I have the privilege of inviting Dr. Amitabh Kant, who's been an inspiration for many of us. Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Megwal, Mr. Anurag Thakur, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor to welcome all of you to this very unique event of the World Health Summit, the regional meeting being held in India. Ladies and gentlemen, India is today a $4 trillion economy. It's the 5th largest economy in the world. The Prime Minister has laid out a clear roadmap for India to be a Viksit Bharat, a developed economy by 2047. That means India will transition from being a $4 trillion economy to a $30+ trillion economy by 2047. At the heart of this journey is our focus on Human Development Index and on improving the physical quality of life. And at the back of this Human Development Index focus, the central point is our focus on health. And health is at the heart of India's growth story. Health is also at the heart of India's digital public infrastructure story. Ladies and gentlemen, what we've seen in recent times is that we've looked ahead at the future. The world needs a new social compact. A global compact for health, tech, equity. This compact must prioritize co-development of digital platforms, which India has driven, which are open standard, open source with data security. It must drive the use of AI for health prevention, not just prediction, and ensure that health solutions are designed with gender, accessibility, and indigenous voices at the center. India is ready to co-lead this journey with all institutions. Together, we can build a health tech ecosystem that is inclusive, sustainable, and resilient to the challenges posed by all the challenges being confronted in the field of health. We must also invest in early childhood development as part of our broader health systems transformation. India's Poshan Abhiyan and Anganwadi reforms are integrating digital tools for child growth tracking, maternal health monitoring, and nutritional planning. These initiatives are foundational to ensuring that our future generations not only have access to quality health care, but are also equipped to thrive in an increasingly climate-impacted world. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, this is not India's digital decade. This is India's health decade. We are proud to offer not just ideas, but implementable platforms, not just products, but people-first policies, not just leadership, but partnership, not just conferences, but great ideas. We move forward together in a world where health innovation should be open, inclusive, and truly global. Let's use this opportunity of the World Health Summit to make health not just a sector, but a shared mission intertwined with our global commitment to climate resilience. And we look forward to partnering all of you in this unique endeavor of hosting the World Health Summit. Let it be a lively, vibrant discussion, one which lays down the clear roadmap for driving growth and prosperity through health of all citizens of the world. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Question for you guys. How many of you have seen a health message on WhatsApp and Insta and paused and reflected, hey, is that the right message? Raise your hands. In fact, during COVID times, it was so bad that WHO called it an infodemic because it was spreading faster than the virus itself. So very proud, very honored to invite Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal, who is the Minister of Law and Justice from Government of India, who holds the portfolio of the Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs and Culture. Yes, sir. Please come up on stage. Thank you.
Respected Anurag Thakur Sahab, Honorable former Minister in the Government of India, respected Amitabh Kant ji, and respected Balbir Singh ji Tomar, who is I think, hosting this event, World Health Summit, Dr. Deepak Nathia ji, and Dr. Dinesh Arora from Asian Development Bank, and all other participants who have come across the world in Delhi. I welcome you on behalf of Government of India in this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, you all know that health is very important topic for human beings. In our Indians saying, or I'm coming from Rajasthan, Dr. Balbir Singh Tomar is also coming from Rajasthan. In Rajasthan particularly, it is a saying, Pehla Sukh Nirogi Kaya, means first principle of the happiness is healthy body. In Rajasthani saying, or in Indian saying, Pehla Sukh Nirogi Kaya. What is happiness? What is the principle of happiness? Then our saying that in Rajasthani, that Pehla Sukh Nirogi Kaya. When we feel that if you have a healthy body, then we can think positive through our mind. if we elaborate a body, we have a 5 Gyanendriya, means senses. Through we acquire the knowledge. We have a 5 senses through we disposal our work, daily routine. 5 senses Gyanendriya, 5 senses Karmendriya, and we have a mind in our body. Means if our body is healthy, means our senses is healthy, means our mind is healthy. If our body is healthy, means our intellect is healthy. If our body is healthy, means we are reaching through in our body, inside the body, to soul. Means body, mind, intellect or soul. If we want to be healthy or we want to be happy in our life, then we have to care our body, means senses also, body, then mind, then intellect, then soul. If all part of the body is healthy, then we are healthy. That is the topic, I think today's my topic. And yesterday, Dr. Tomar Saab, you have given me a topic for mental health that I am going to deliver, I think tomorrow. Yesterday you have given to me, I was out, I think, and I am touring. They told me that you have to speak on the mental health. Today, you told me that you have to come only, not to speak. But tomorrow I will speak about the mental health. But it's a very good thing that you instructed me to, you have to speak something about the World Health Summit. It's a very good, I think, gesture. You all have come here. Delhi is very important city of the world. I welcome in Delhi, in India. Thank you very much. Thank you, all the best.
Honorable Minister, thank you very much. I think you already spoke about mental health, physical health, well-being. I think it's that holistic health that we all need to be talking about. And unfortunately, health has become more about disease. And I really love the framing that you did, and I'm looking forward to listening to you tomorrow. How many of you love cricket? That looks like very few people. Either you're not listening to me or cricket, IPL. How many of you are watching IPL now? You should be listening, not watching. Anyway, I think IPL, for those of you who are illiterate on cricket, it's probably one of the best things that can happen. Sports is important for keeping ourselves healthy, as the minister just said. But also, how do you make sports meaningful and purposeful? And one of the people that I've been inspired by is Anurag Thakur, who's used sports to mobilize resources for the Global Fund and brought together the whole BCCI and the team together to raise resources for the Global Fund. Thank you very much. Anurag Thakur is the former Minister of Parliament and Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Youth Affairs and Sports of the Government of India, and has been one of the most active members in global health. Thank you very much, Anurag, for being here. May I invite you to share with us your view.
Namaste, a very good evening to all of you. Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal ji, Honorable Union Minister of Law and Justice, Parliament Affairs, esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to address you all today at the World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2025. It is an honor that it is being convened on the Indian soil for the very first time under the theme, Scaling Access to Ensure Health Equity. So these days everyone is talking about markets and the equity, but as Meghwalji earlier said, health equity. And see, Meghwalji talked about equity and health, and we have the former Health Minister, Mr. Mansukh Mandviya, who have just arrived. Please put your hands together to welcome him. So friends, in an era where quality healthcare is too often seen as the privilege, as the preserve of the privileged, our gathering in New Delhi offers a unique opportunity to translate aspirations into action, to share lessons learned, and to forge partnerships that leave no one behind. India stands at the crossroad of challenge and opportunity. With a population of more than 1.43 billion, our nation has long grappled with the barriers of geography, poverty, and infrastructure. Yet over the past decade, guided by the vision of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, we have undertaken bold reforms to democratize healthcare. We have moved from selective interventions to a comprehensive, citizen-centric model anchored by both financial protection and primary care access. In 2018, we launched the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, popularly known as PMJ, the world's largest government-financed health insurance scheme. If I have to give you the numbers today, about 55 crore, which is 550 million plus people in India are covered under this, can access secondary and tertiary care without out-of-pocket distress. As of 24th March 2025, more than 369 million Ayushman cards have been issued. To date, 83.9 million hospital admissions worth more than $15 billion have been authorized, sparing families catastrophic expenditure. Between financial years 2015 to 2022, government health expenditure rose from 29% to 48% of the total health outlay, while out-of-the-pocket expenditure fell from 62.6% to 39.4%, demonstrating our commitment to easing economic barriers to care. We have to talk about comprehensive primary care, recognizing that insurance alone can't achieve equity. We transformed our 150,000 existing sub-centers into Ayushman Arogya Mandirs, holistic health and wellness centers, delivering preventive, promotive, curative, rehabilitative, and palliative services as of 5th April 2025. $175,000 active health and wellness centers are operational across India, bringing care closer to rural and underdeserved communities. These centers have conducted more than 1.7 billion hypertension screenings, 946 million diabetic screenings, facilitating early detection of non-communicable diseases. Over 50 million wellness sessions, including yoga, cycling, and meditation, have been held, emphasizing health promotion. Before me, Mr. Amitabh Khan touched upon the AI's part, artificial intelligence. I'm just going to talk about what India has done as far as the digital healthcare is concerned. During the COVID time, we had the COVID app, Arogya Setu app. Apart than that, now we have the digital technology underpins our quest for equity. The Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission now boasts of 760 million Ayushman Bharat Health Account IDs, which is the digital health card. 559,000 verified health professionals we have in India. 386,000 registered health facilities, 520 million linked health cards ensuring secure, interoperable care pathways. We have seen the administration of the COVID vaccine in India, which was very, very successful during those times. These initiatives have translated into the measurable gains. India have achieved polio eradication in 2014, has reduced the maternal mortality to 97 per 1 lakh live births by 2020, a 75% decline since the late 1990s. Infant mortality has fallen to 28 per 1,000 live births, while life expectancy have birth now exceeds 70 years. These strides reflect our commitment to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, especially SDG 3 on health and well-being. While when I entered, Soumya Swaminathan ji, she asked me, are you still doing programs with the tuberculosis? Yes, ma'am, I'm still doing, because I think it is our responsibility in India, because we have the largest number of tuberculosis patients in India. So each and every one of us has to take care of that, create more awareness about it. And if I have to talk about some programs of the Government of India, more than 800 million people are given free food grains every month. More than 120 million toilets are being built. More than 130 million houses have been given potable water, the tap connections, to have the clean drinking water. All this leads to a better lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, and cut down the number or cut down the load on our healthcare system. If you look at the last 10 years, more than 250 million Indians have come out of the multi-dimensional poverty line. These all steps are taken in the right direction, but these kind of summits are very important to understand the project taken in your countries, by your organizations, by the governments and all, so that we can also learn from them. This is a platform to share what you have achieved, what you are going to do. And I'm sure whatever you have done in your respective fields, we all are going to gain out of it. As far as Prime Minister Modi is concerned, he has always talked about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family. And his initiatives are always not only in the interest of India, but for the entire world. We have seen many of you raising hands from various, because you have traveled from thousands and thousands of kilometers to come to this part of the world. Let me first welcome all of you to our national capital, New Delhi. I hope you are all comfortable here. And this very Bharat Mandapam has hosted the G20 meeting here, which was a very, very successful event after many years. India, in the last 10 years, have become the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. We have more than 157,000 startups today, 117 unicorns today, and we have seen hundreds and hundreds of startups are working into the healthcare sector as well. So I'm sure with the artificial intelligence, startups, and your expertise in various sectors are going to help us. We are sure globally the health tech market is predicted to climb from $106 billion in 2019 to $639 billion in 2026. As we have set a target for ourselves to make India a developed nation by 2047, I am sure healthcare is going to play a very, very important role. India is one of the largest pharma producers in the world. Indian doctors are renowned locally and globally as well. I travel across the world where we see in many countries where you have to find an appointment with a doctor. It may take a couple of months to find an appointment. But in India, one doctor can also have more than 300 or 400 OPDs in an institution like AIIMS or such institutions, the government institutions. But at the same time, the number of medical colleges in India has gone up. It is double, from 380 to 760 in last 10 years. The medical seats have gone double, from 50,000 to 1 lakh. The PG seats have gone up from 31,000 to 64,000. So we are spending a lot in the healthcare sector, whether it is medical education or the healthcare sector. But we are all here to learn from your experiences. India, which has more than 65% as a young population, the youth here, we can be the world's largest skilled manpower. So kindly give various suggestions how we can partner together in the healthcare sector to provide the manpower not only for the healthcare but for the other relevant sectors as well. I won't take more time. We have a lot of speakers today. So distinguished guests, let me in the end thank Mr. Balveer Singh Tomar, who is the key to get this World Health Summit, the regional meeting 2025 to India. Thank you, Mr. Tomar, for all your efforts, and the NIMS University for putting in all the efforts. And let me thank all of you for coming all the way to India. Enjoy your stay. In the end, I would like to end up by saying the path to health equity is neither easy nor linear. But India's experience shows that determined policy, robust financing, and technological innovation can overcome historic barriers. As we scale access and deepen collaboration, let us affirm our shared vision, a world where no one is denied the right to health. Together we can transform promise into practice, ensure that the privilege of quality healthcare becomes the birthright of every citizen. Thank you for giving me time and listening to me. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much. You said something which is really important for us to follow through. One, India is the pharmacy of the world. It's amazing to go to different countries. When you say you're from India, everybody says thank you for the medicines that we are getting because of you. And India has the opportunity to be the same in terms of looking at digital health and providing those tools for the world. And the one man who has been involved, as Anurag Thakur already said, who has been working in making sure that the drugs are available, has been working on healthcare, and is now the Minister of Labour and Employment of India, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia. May I invite you, sir, to share with us the journey that you've taken this country through and all the work that you've done in healthcare. Thank you.
लंबा चल गया है, लोग खड़े होके, वैसे तो लीडर आ जाता है तो भाषण तो कराना ही पड़ेगा। वर्ल्ड हेल्थ समिट में तोमर जी ने मुझे लास्ट वीक में इनविटेशन देने के लिए आए थे। मैंने कहा था कि मैं आऊँगा, लेकिन थोड़ा लेट पहुँचा हूँ। लेकिन भी जब अनुराग भाई अपनी बात रख रहे थे, एज ए हेल्थ मिनिस्टर, ये सब घटना का मैं साक्षी रहा। कोविड क्राइसिस के समय में मैंने देश की और दुनिया की हेल्थ सिस्टम देखी। मैं प्रत्यक्ष हेल्थ सेक्टर में इंडिया की और दुनिया की क्या वीकनेस है, क्या स्ट्रेंथ है, ये मैंने डिटेल देखा। एक दिन में 5-5, 10-10 मीटिंग सारी दुनिया के साथ होती थी। जो आपकी समिट का उद्देश्य हेतु है, हाउ हेल्थ बिकेम एक्सेसिबल, कैसे एक्सेसिबल बने। मैं ये समय में अच्छी तरह देख पा रहा था। शुरुआती समय में जब कोविड स्टार्ट हुआ, दुनिया के साथ मैं मीटिंग करता था तो दुनिया कहती थी इंडिया इज ए बिग कंट्री, ह्यूज डाइवर्सिटी, 1.4 बिलियन पॉपुलेशंस, पुअर हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर्स, इंडिया कोविड मैनेज नहीं कर पाएगा। और इंडिया में जितना मृत्यु होगा उसके आधार पर दुनिया का फिगर तय होगा। ये मैंने मेरे कान से सुना है। और जब डेल्टा वेरिएंट चल रहा था तो दुनिया के साथ बात होती थी, तो दुनिया मुझे पूछती थी कि आपके यहां डॉक्टर ड्यूटी पर आते हैं, आपके यहां नर्स ड्यूटी पर आते हैं, आपके यहां मेडिकल स्टाफ ड्यूटी पर आते हैं? तो मैं कहता था हाँ आते हैं, लेकिन ये ऐसा मुझे नहीं बताते थे कि क्यों हम आपको एक क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहे हैं। मैं डेवलप्ड कंट्री की बात कर रहा हूं, क्योंकि वहां डॉक्टर नर्स छुट्टी लेके उसके यहां इमरजेंसी के जो भी कानून होंगे वो लागू करने के बावजूद भी नहीं आते थे। जो आप हेल्थ को एक्सेसिबल करने की बात कर रहे हैं, हेल्थ को एफोर्डेबल करने की बात कर रहे हैं, उसके पीछे का सीक्रेट ये है। एट द टाइम मैंने रिप्लाई करा था, और जब ओमिक्रॉन वेव आया और कोविड उत्तरार्ध में था, तो दुनिया मुझे पूछती थी कि इंडिया ने, आपने लोगों ने क्या करा, आपने कैसे कोविड मैनेज करा। पर मिलियन पॉपुलेशन दुनिया में सबसे कम कैजुअलिटी कोई कंट्री में हुई है तो उसका नाम हिंदुस्तान है, भारत है। कैसे करा? तब मैंने कहा था कि दुनिया के लिए हेल्थ एक कॉमर्स हो सकता है, लेकिन इंडिया के लिए हेल्थ ये सेवा है, और सेवा ये हमारा संस्कार है। ये हमारा संस्कार होने से हम देश को भी बचा पाए और दुनिया को भी हमने मदद करी। ये सेवा भाव उस वक्त आपने कंट्री में देखा होगा, मोदी जी थाली बजाने के लिए कहते थे, ताली बजाने के लिए कहते थे, दिया जलाने के लिए कहते थे, आकाश में एयरफोर्स के प्लेन से ट्राई कलर लहरा के देश के कोरोना वॉरियर को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए ये सारे काम करते थे। और उस क्यों करते थे? करते इसलिए थे कि हमारे मन में या तो हमारे कल्चर में हेल्थ है, सेवा है, संस्कार को जागरूक करने के लिए ये सब करा, और नतीजा ये निकला कि कई डॉक्टर ने अपना जान गंवा दिया, कई नर्स ने अपना जान गंवा दिया, कई पैरामेडिकल स्टाफ ने अपना जान गंवा दिया, कई पुलिस सुरक्षा कर्मियों ने, कोरोना वॉरियर्स ने अपना जान गंवा दिया, लेकिन ड्यूटी नहीं छोड़ी, क्योंकि उन्होंने, उसके मन में जो सेवा भाव था वो जागरूक हुआ। और इसलिए दोस्तों, सेवा ये संस्कार होने से हेल्थ एफोर्डेबल कब होगा? हेल्थ एक्सेसिबल तब होगा जब हेल्थ एफोर्डेबल होगा। एफोर्डेबल कब होगा? जब आप उसको सेवा मानेंगे तब। हेल्थ को सेवा मान लेंगे तब जाके हेल्थ ऑटोमेटिक एफोर्डेबल होने लगेंगे। मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल के तौर पे समझाऊंगा। तो कोविड क्राइसिस के दरमियान हम भी कई चीजें इंपोर्ट करते थे, तो दुनिया ने प्राइस बढ़ा दिया था, और उस वक्त मुझे बराबर याद है 23 मार्च को अनाउंसमेंट हुआ था, 24 मार्च 2020 को लॉकडाउन लगा था, और लॉकडाउन के दरमियान 4 अप्रैल, 4 अप्रैल हम सब लॉकडाउन में थे। एट दैट टाइम माई सेल्फ वॉज फार्मास्यूटिकल मिनिस्टर ऑल्सो। शाम को 8 बजे प्रधानमंत्री जी का मुझे कॉल आया था, और मुझे कहा कि भाई हाइड्रोक्सीक्लोरोक्विन और एजिथ्रोमाइसिन की देश में स्थिति क्या है। तो मैंने प्रधानमंत्री जी को कहा कि पर्याप्त मात्रा में है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। तब प्रधानमंत्री जी ने मुझे कहा था कि ऐसा नहीं भाई, दुनिया के कंट्री हेड का मुझे कॉल आ रहा है, हमें दुनिया को मदद करनी है, और दुनिया को मदद करने के लिए हमें देश में हाइड्रोक्सीक्लोरोक्विन, एजिथ्रोमाइसिन, सारी मेडिसिन का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग गति से करवाना है। इसलिए सभी फार्मा कंपनी को लॉकडाउन पास दे दो, उसको उससे मुक्त करो और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करो, मुझे दुनिया को मदद करना है। दोस्तों, मुझे बताते हुए खुशी हो रही है कि कोविड क्राइसिस के दरमियान लॉकडाउन में एयरपोर्ट बंद थे, इंटरनेशनल फ्लाइट बंद थी, डोमेस्टिक फ्लाइट बंद थी, लेकिन ये देश की धरती पर डेली 5 से 6 प्लेन लैंड होते थे मेडिसिन लेने के लिए। 150 देश में भारत ने मेडिसिन सप्लाई करी। अभी बात आती है एक्सेसिबल हेल्थ की। 150 कंट्री में मेडिसिन सप्लाई करी। एट द टाइम हम चाहते कि हमें प्राइस हाइक करना है, कोई हमें रोक नहीं सकता था, लेकिन उस वक्त देश के प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने कहा था कि सभी कंपनी के साथ मीटिंग करो, पहले जिस रेट में एक्सपोर्ट करते थे वही रेट में एक्सपोर्ट करना है, प्राइस नहीं बढ़ाना है, तब जाके दुनिया को कोविड की सस्ता इलाज मिला होगा। हेल्थ को एक्सेसिबल बनाने के लिए हेल्थ को एफोर्डेबल बनानी होगी। हेल्थ को एफोर्डेबल बनाने के लिए उसको सेवा समझनी होगी। आप हेल्थ को सेवा के रूप में लेंगे, आप उसमें कॉमर्स नहीं देखेंगे तो प्रॉफिटेरिंग नहीं देखेंगे, और आप प्रॉफिट ज्यादा नहीं देखेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिक हेल्थ एफोर्डेबल रहेगी। हेल्थ एफोर्डेबल और एक्सेसिबल के लिए टेक्निकल, गवर्नमेंट एफर्ट, इंश्योरेंस, आयुष्मान भारत योजना, ESIC की योजना, ये सब तो है ही है, लेकिन दोस्तों सही मायने में हमें हेल्थ को एक्सेसिबल करना है तो ये माइंडसेट से होती है, और ये संदेश इस धरती से दुनिया को जाता है। और इसलिए मैं मानता हूं कि ये हेल्थ समिट में जो 2-3 दिन आप यहाँ रहेंगे, इस विषय पर भी सार्थक चर्चा हो। जब स्टूडेंट, कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट मेडिकल साइंस में एडमिशन लेते हैं, 5 साल कॉलेज में रहते हैं, तब से उसके मन में सेवा भाव निर्माण कर सकते हैं क्या? हेल्थ हमारे लिए ड्यूटी होनी चाहिए, ये स्वभाव हम निर्माण कर सकते हैं क्या? तब जाके डॉक्टर बनेगा तो उसके मन में आएगा कि सिटी में नहीं, ये मेरा कर्तव्य है, मेरा दायित्व है, मेरी जिम्मेवारी है, मैं हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल हूं, चलो मैं गांव दूर सुदूर कोई गांव में जाके डॉक्टर के रूप में सेवा दूंगा। हेल्थ एक्सेसिबल हो जाएगी। एक्सेसिबल, एफोर्डेबल करने के लिए दोस्तों यही माइंडसेट से हमें आगे बढ़ना होगा। बाकी सृष्टि तो चक्रकार है, घूमती है, जो पहिया ऊपर जाता है वो नीचे आता है, ऊपर जाता है वो नीचे आता है। मैं देख रहा हूं कि हेल्थ सेक्टर का आयाम बदल रहा है, हेल्थ सेक्टर बदल रहा है, कई बदलाव मैं देख रहा हूं। दोस्तों समाधान कहां है? हमें इंटीग्रेटिव मेडिसिन में भी जाना पड़ेगा। आप ऊपर से नीचे तक देखो, कौन सा डिसीज का इलाज है आपके पास? कैंसर हुआ, डायबिटिक है, अल्जाइमर है, घुटने का दर्द है, इलाज कहाँ है भाई? समाधान कहाँ है? बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन है दोस्तों। ऐसी स्थिति में हमें इंटीग्रेटिव हेल्थ के पर भी सोचना है। ऐसी स्थिति में हेल्थ एफोर्डेबल और एक्सेसिबल हो, उसके लिए तो काम करना ही है। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की फिलोसॉफी यहाँ से ही दुनिया को मिली है, उसको भली भांति एक बार सेवा के रूप में हम देख लेंगे तो मुझे लगता है कि ये इश्यू का रिप्लाई आपको मिल जाएंगे। आप सब लोगों को हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. For the last half hour, we heard about India's contribution to its own health and to global public health. And now we're in the Asian region, and the person responsible for the Sierra region's public health is Dr. Saima, Regional Director, WHO. May I please welcome you to the stage.
Your Excellencies, dignitaries, good evening to all of you. First of all, thank you to the World Health Summit for bringing this meeting to our region for the first time. WHO is, of course, a long-standing partner of WHS globally. As the Southeast Asia Regional Office, we are pleased and proud to be a partner with a diverse cohort of organizations and individuals for this regional summit. This WHO region of ours, Southeast Asia, is home to approximately 2 billion people, representing over a quarter of the global population and health burden. No global goal can be achieved without success in our region. When we advance the health and well-being of our people, the health and well-being of the entire planet improves. Because of this, we have a great responsibility, and when we succeed, so too does the whole world. We are, of course, committed to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, but the current evidence shows that we are lagging when it comes to health-related targets. When I was running for the post of WHO's Regional Director for Southeast Asia, I laid out my vision for this region. Quite simply, I want to help shape a region where everyone can lead lives to the fullest extent of their potential and abilities. I want to see a region where avoidable, preventable, or curable conditions would not hold back people from achieving all that they could or wanted to be. We distilled my vision into a strategic guide, our roadmap, our regional roadmap for results and resilience. Our countries gave their input and then endorsed this roadmap. Last year, they adopted this document and formally mandated us to implement it. The roadmap prioritizes the health of women, children, and marginalized groups, including persons with disabilities, through the achievement of universal health coverage within the primary health care. We want to see these groups transition from being our target populations for health interventions to being the driving forces for the peace, prosperity, and stability that we want for all our communities. Our roadmap is aligned with GPW 14 and is our strategic enabler to bring back our region back on track to achieve the SDG goals. The roadmap also focuses on reinforcing mental health, well-being, and quality of life. It enjoins us to use technology and innovations for improving public health. It calls on us to improve capacity, knowledge management, and research, and to develop the leadership and performance of the WHO. We are implementing the roadmap through a thematic framework with 5 focus areas: UHC, which is universal health coverage and health workforces, key communicable diseases and AMR, health security, safe and healthy start to life, and the social determinants of health and NCDs. Turning policy into action cannot be done alone. It needs a whole of society approach. Our Southeast Asia Regional Office is working with all stakeholders to address policy gaps and implement actions to achieve our goals. One of our major challenges is economic constraints. Domestic public investment in health needs to increase in all our countries, given our region's low per capita spending. This summit can help identify and promote innovative and sustainable financing approaches. I would like to ask all of you to collaborate with us. Collaborate with us at every level. Share your insights and actively participate in our initiatives. Together, we can make a significant impact on public health and improve the lives of millions. I know that everyone here today is committed to bridge the gap between policy and action, and as we have heard all the leadership speak today, I know that we can help our people lead lives of full health and well-being. So let's do it together. Thank you.
Thank you, Saima. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to welcome a truly remarkable leader to this conversation. Been privileged to know her for some time now. Right now, Honorable Helen Clark, the former Premier of New Zealand, and a voice for equity, health, and human dignity. She's long championed the integration of health and climate policy, understanding that these are not separate crises, but they are connected challenges affecting communities at large. Ma'am, please.
Honourable Ministers, conveners of the regional meeting of the World Health Summit, and all participants present this evening. I'm very pleased to be at what is a very dynamic regional meeting of the summit. The rooms have been abuzz with discussion and excitement around issues today. And my very brief comments are going to be around the theme of the summit, scaling access to ensure health equity and resilient health systems. This would be challenging at any time, and even more so in the turbulent times in which we live, not least as many countries face significant fiscal constraints. The health sector, of course, has a big role to play in reducing health inequities, primarily through delivering universal health coverage. But the major drivers of health inequities do lie far beyond the health sector in those social determinants of health. And there is no progress on health equity, really, without tackling economic inequalities, structural discrimination, climate change, and the level of conflicts we see around our world. Asia has seen considerable progress on addressing health inequities and in dramatic improvements in life expectancy through improvements in maternal, newborn and child health care delivery, nutrition and education. But to make further progress, those social determinants need to be tackled. On building resilient health systems, we need these to be able to reconfigure and adapt in the face of shocks and have the capacity to scale up responses when shocks occur. Achieving resilience also is difficult when countries are struggling to fund basic and routine services. But it's so crucial for responses to epidemics and for health service delivery in conflict zones and for areas experiencing dramatic weather events and other disasters. A health system which is resilient to climate change has to be able to keep on delivering services through the most extreme weather events. It must be able to prevent and manage the increased disease burden from global heating and the undermining of our food, air and water systems. That resilient health system also should decarbonise itself so that the health sector plays its part in mitigating climate change. If we use this broad definition around resilience to climate change, not many health systems around the world would be meeting it. We do need global cooperation to tackle pandemic threats, climate change, and the other existential threats we face. But also, as the global health landscape changes so dramatically, it's clear that countries must lead and invest in their own health and knowledge systems. This is a time of tremendous technological innovation in medicines for chronic disease and in digitalization and artificial intelligence. And we see India at the forefront of these trends. But a challenge is, globally, can these innovations be harnessed to improve health equity? Or will we see business as usual where innovation is available to the wealthy and takes decades to benefit most people on the planet? The recent bitter experience with COVID-19 vaccines is so fresh in our memories. To conclude, and putting on my hat as chair of the board of the Alliance for Health Policy and Systems Research, which is hosted by WHO, I want to express our call for greater investment in bridging the gap in health between what we know and what we do. And health policy and systems research can help bridge that gap by identifying the ways we can stretch limited resources to maintain essential services, to reconfigure our health systems to adapt to crises, and in demonstrating how innovations can be delivered equitably at scale. But this kind of applied research is underfunded in so many countries and has often been funded by development support in a number of the low and middle income countries. In this new era, as traditional development assistance is waning fast, we hope many more countries will follow the lead of the Indias, the Thailands, the Chinas and others who have been investing in their knowledge ecosystems for applied research linked to policy and implementation. And even these leading countries need to further accelerate their investments. There's also scope for much more regional and South-South cooperation. In this Asian century, the world can benefit so much more from knowledge produced in this region to address crises both here and globally to improve health equity. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. I don't know how many of you are hungry, but thank you for staying. The good news is that in India, we have to stand on one feet when you're speaking, so we'll be short for the rest of the interventions. How many of you are familiar with Swachh Bharat? Okay, so this is an initiative that was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister of India. It's about, and it's been remarkable. Let me invite Mr. Sanjay Vijaysekara, the Regional Director of UNICEF of South Asia. In his previous role, please sir, do come. In his previous role, he was with UNICEF in headquarters and leading the WASH initiative. And Swachh Bharat, there is a report which has just been, I'm told by somebody from UNICEF that it has reduced infant mortality by 10%. So that is amazing. Thanks to you, and thanks for the wonderful leadership of the Prime Minister of India. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for that very kind introduction. And certainly it was a privilege to be associated with that initiative that was led by the Prime Minister and the Government of India. Honourable Ministers, distinguished delegates, partners, representatives from academia, colleagues, friends, ladies, gentlemen, namaste. It's really a pleasure to join you, and it's a real privilege for me to be here representing UNICEF as one of the policy partners of this event. And this is an event, a meeting that brings together bold leadership, innovative partners, and an unwavering commitment to better health for all at a critical time. And it is a time of profound global change. Victories to celebrate. Yet progress is uneven and fragile threatened by emerging and fast-evolving public health challenges. Asia faces a triple burden of disease: persistent infectious diseases, such as vaccine-preventable diseases and diarrheal diseases, a growing crisis of non-communicable diseases, such as diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and childhood obesity, a surge in mental health challenges and environmental health risks, especially among children and adolescents. Children and adolescents, the most vulnerable, the hardest to reach, those in rural villages, in urban slums, shoulder an unjust burden from the earliest moments of life. Increasing their access to health services is not just the right thing to do, but it is a smart thing to do. It is how we protect our future generations and enable them to live productive lives. We know what works. It begins where health starts, in households, in communities, in schools, in places of worship. In other words, in the hands of those who know the community best, its people. But to scale these efforts, we must first invest in frontline workers. Over 4.5 million community health and nutrition workers drive community action in Asia, mostly women who provide life-saving services to millions of children, mothers, and communities every day, navigating challenging terrains and stigma as they do so. And despite their vital role, too many remain underpaid, undervalued, and unsupported. If we are serious about scaling access and ensuring equity, we must back our ambition with action. And that means professionalizing this work, providing adequate and sustained financing, and recognizing this workforce as a critical step in our collective effort to save lives. And I saw this for myself on a visit to Bagdish in Afghanistan, where many families live far away from health facilities and where there's a shortage of qualified health workers. And here UNICEF and partners, including the Asian Development Bank, support 30,000 community health workers, bring healthcare to the most remote parts of the country by providing a triage service, treating minor ailments and referring serious cases for medical treatment. The services they provide are a formal link between the primary healthcare services facilities and communities. And not surprisingly, their presence in communities improves health overall, not least for women. The more female community health workers there are, the more women seek antenatal care and deliver babies in safe environments. And I remember meeting 23-year-old Haseba, who graduated from high school and has been a health worker for 5 years. And she told me how thrilled she is to serve her community and how she hopes this experience can lead to more formal qualifications to build her career. And for her, this was not just a job, it was a vocation, it was her passion. So in short, community health and nutrition workers are the bridge between households and health facilities and systems, and strengthen that bridge, and we strengthen the system itself. And there is one thing the COVID-19 pandemic taught us, it is that no one is safe until everyone is safe. So equity is not just a slogan, it is a moral responsibility. And access is not just a statistic, it is a lifeline. And scaling access is not just about doing more of the same, it is about transforming how we deliver care for children. The how is down to all of us, working together so that every child across Asia has a healthy start and a productive future. It is their right and it is our responsibility. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanjay. Thank you. I want to now invite Ayako Inagaki who is the Senior Director for Human and Social Development. Leadership is about enabling everybody to come together and work together. And Ayako, you have been one of those people who really brings everybody together, be it looking at health, climate, and looking at how you bring all these different parts of the organization, but also different partners together. Thank you very much for your leadership and vision. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening to all my colleagues, partners, health leaders, and policy makers gathered here. I think you all look a little bit tired. I could feel that. But just remember that your presence here over the next 3 days is really a testimony of the importance of this event, the World Health Summit regional meeting. And it is a vital platform, and we should not miss really discussing really issues of critical importance to advance global health equity, foster multi-sector collaboration, accelerate knowledge exchange, and promote regional cooperation. So this event should really serve as a springboard to enhance the resilience of health systems and significantly contribute to shaping the global policy agenda and steer tangible and action-oriented outcomes. 50 years ago, J.F. Kennedy said, "Never have the nations of this world had so much to lose or so much to gain. And together, we shall save our planet." Don't you think that those are truer words even today than it was 50 years ago? So as climate change intensifies, its intersection with health systems has become one of the most pressing challenges of our time. Climate change is not bound by borders of territories, and the answer to it lies not with a single country, but a collective strength, will, and commitment of nations. And I know that this is always much easier to say in a conference than implement it in the on our daily life, right? However, just again remember what are the challenges that we're facing. The rising vector-borne diseases, heat-related illness, and disrupted food system, and mental health burdens, which was also mentioned today. The climate health nexus demands coordinated and cross-border responses. The regional organizations, and we have a lot of representatives and leaders of such organizations today, have the trust, the network, and legitimacy to facilitate joint policy frameworks on the nexus between climate and health. Sharing shared regional early warning systems, research hubs, and response protocol for climate-sensitive diseases like dengue or cholera can minimize duplication and amplify regional preparedness. These platforms can align national health adaptation strategies with broader regional goals, ensuring that no country is left behind. I think some of the speakers before really talk about South-South cooperation, and South-South cooperation is really the bedrock for countries with similar socio-economic contexts to share best practices, technologies, and financing models without dependence on the traditional North-South aid dynamics. For example, we also talked about India's digital health tools. Remember, in Thailand, telehealth services are quite famous, or Kenya's mobile health innovation offers scalable lessons for other countries in the global South. So partnership can also enable a shift from reactive health responses to proactive climate-resilient health system, especially in vulnerable and difficult-to-reach communities, which also we have talked about. Now, it's always the challenge is that the financing around climate and health remains always fragmented, underutilized, though we make best effort, obviously, to mobilize the necessary resources. So here, I think today we have also a representative of financing institutions, international financing institutions such as ADB, and we are committed to streamline the funding mechanisms to reflect the integrated climate health priorities of government. Blended financing models, public-private partnership can unlock innovative funding channels for climate resilience, health infrastructure, capacity building, as well as community outreach. So the future of global health lies in collective action, region by region, sector by sector, and nation by nation. So let's work together and pursue this commitment to resilience health system and contribution to the global health. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ayako. How many of you believe that no one country can solve all the health problems? That's precisely, yeah, me too. That's precisely why collaboration is really important. And now we hear from former chief scientist at WHO, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, to take the stage as she shares with us how South-South collaboration will hopefully solve some of the problems, if not all. Thanks.
Respected dignitaries and guests, I know it's very late, so I will not take much time. I just want to make three quick points. I don't want to repeat things that have been said already. Excellent points have been made. The first one is that we will have to pay more attention to the social, environmental, and economic determinants of health, in addition to, of course, strengthening and improving our healthcare delivery systems. A lot of the burden of disease now is because of these factors. So I think that the health ministries and departments and all of us here have to become champions to have health in all policies. The second is about the importance of research, evidence, science, building a scientific temper in the community, science communication, addressing misinformation, infodemic. So we can do all the good work, but if we don't communicate it well and if we don't address this issue of misinformation and disinformation, which is here to stay in the social media age that we live in, then many of our health strategies may not be successful. So I think we have to be cognizant of that, and we have to really build that scientific literacy and health literacy in our communities. And the third and final point is really about partnerships, regional partnerships, global partnerships and collaboration was critical to being able to solve the COVID in the time span that we could develop vaccines and therapeutics and diagnostics. We have to do the same for all of the other health conditions. Wherever it's feasible and makes sense, I think regional partnerships for R&D, for developing health products, for technology transfer, for improving and scaling manufacturing, in regulatory, as well as in data sharing to particularly address the climate and health issues. And over the next 3 days, we're going to talk a lot about all of this, but I just wanted to leave you with these three key messages. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This morning, there were quite a few sessions on digital health and AI, and there's a lot of discussion around what if these data systems could talk to each other. I'd like to welcome Mr. Rizwan Quetta to unpack how interoperability will save people's lives. Tall ask. Thank you.
Thank you very much to everyone, especially those of you who have stayed back. So I'm going to take a cue from Soumya, and I'm going to keep this very short. You know, I'm really excited to see so much of participation in healthcare, and even more so, having spent 20 years in digital health, to see the amount of discussion, excitement, number of exhibits, and number of conversations on digital is particularly endearing, and I'm so excited. India, over the course of the last few years, has taken several steps around driving innovation and adoption of digital, right from the government to the entrepreneurial ecosystem. In my role as the chairman of NABH, which is, for many of you all who are from outside the country may not know, it's the certifying body for hospitals. We certify about 26,000 hospitals across India. The exciting thing about what we are doing at NABH is that digital has become a very critical part of our strategy. And while the NABH standard is about 20 years old, about 2 years back we developed the digital health standard for hospitals in India. And that has seen a fairly strong uptake by the hospital community. Last year we developed the digital health standards for EMR and HIS products. And what is interesting is that the NABH, the National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Organization, is perhaps the only organization in the world which publishes the clinical standard for hospitals, publishes the digital standards for hospitals, and also publishes the digital health standards for software to be used in healthcare. In addition to publishing the standards, we have a very strong assessor pool for each of these standards, including now the ability to test software products. And this has been a phenomenal learning exercise. From an international contribution perspective, as NABH, we are very open to supporting other countries in developing digital health standards for hospitals, of course, but also sharing our experiences in building digital health standards for hospitals as well as software products. So if any of you all are interested, you should certainly reach out to NABH, and we will definitely try and help you. India is very uniquely positioned. It's a big country, it's a complex country, it's a relatively poor country on a global scale. And if we can drive frugal innovation in India, and if we can make it work, then it'll be a tremendous template on which other countries, especially in low and middle income countries, can learn from and take it forward. And we would be truly excited to share our learnings and good practices, the good and the not so good, with all of you all, and look forward to that engagement. So thank you very much once again, and appreciate you all staying back.
Thank you very much, Dr. Koita. 2025 is going to be remembered in global health for certainly one thing, which is about financing. This is the year when we are having at least 3 different replenishments happening: Global Fund, Gavi, and the Pandemic Fund, if I'm not mistaken. And it is also demonstrated that we need to really rethink financing for global health. It's about innovative financing. And Priya Basu is the executive head of the Pandemic Fund at the World Bank. And if there's anybody who can talk about innovation and financing, it's you. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Honorable ministers, partners, friends, huge congratulations to the organizers for putting together such a vibrant conference. I hate to stand between you and dinner, so I will also take a cue from the previous 2 speakers to be as brief as possible. I want to call your attention today to one core area of health investments that has suffered from chronic underinvestments, and that is pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response. This was demonstrated by COVID-19, but also by past pandemics: SARS, MERS, avian influenza, Zika, Ebola. We must not forget that COVID-19 cost millions of lives, trillions in economic losses, and set back years of progress in health, poverty reduction, and growth in the most vulnerable countries. And I say this because I do feel that while it's been a focus today, several speakers have spoken about this, but in global fora, the memory of COVID is somehow fading, and we have to remember the costs and the losses that it generated. And this was all because we were not able to contain a tiny virus. Now, global financing has an important role to play in building the necessary capacity, but domestic resources are also key to ensuring that these investments are sustained. So with leadership from the G20, the international community came together quickly in 2022 to establish the Pandemic Fund. This was one of the most significant global achievements that emerged from the ashes of COVID-19. It is the first and only multilateral financing mechanism that's dedicated to helping low and middle-income countries bolster their capacity to prevent, prepare, and rapidly respond to pandemics through investments in areas like surveillance, early warning systems, laboratories and testing, and building a fit-for-purpose health workforce. The fund is hosted by the World Bank and is a vital addition to the global health financing architecture. The speed at which the Pandemic Fund has delivered additional financing is remarkable. Thanks to the generosity of donors, the fund quickly raised about $3 billion. And since we're in Delhi, I would like to acknowledge the Government of India's role as a founding donor and thank India for recently doubling its contribution to the Pandemic Fund. So after 2 rounds of funding, the Pandemic Fund has already awarded $885 million, supporting 75 countries across 6 geographic regions. And these grants have catalyzed an additional $6 billion in co-financing from international partners, including the ADB, including the World Bank, other multilateral development banks, UN agencies, and global health initiatives, as well as investments from the countries themselves that are receiving money. So all of this translates into a leverage ratio of 1:7 for every dollar that we've granted. So every dollar that comes to us, we multiply it 7-fold to help countries become stronger and better prepared for the next emerging outbreak. Our grants have already begun making a difference by galvanizing collaboration across a range of international partners and promoting multisectoral coordination on the ground, including through a One Health approach, which is very central to everything that we do. In September last year, the Pandemic Fund approved fast-track financing of $130 million to support 10 countries in Africa to respond to the Mpox public health emergency. And this is a great example of the fund's agility and commitment. And we're seeing every day how blending Pandemic Fund grants with concessional loans from multilateral development banks can really be a game changer for preparedness. And we're seeing tremendous demand. Our 2 funding rounds have generated requests of $7 billion from 142 countries. So, ladies and gentlemen, the risks of another pandemic happening are high and escalating with climate change, conflict, fragility. If we fail to invest in preparedness now, we do so at our collective peril. Now really is the moment to scale up efforts. We cannot afford to make the same mistake again. I call on all of us to work together, to partner, to collaborate, to build a safer, healthier future for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Basu. Championing universal health coverage is something that we need lots of people to do. And the one person who's done it really brilliantly, whether it is bringing Germany to the fore and getting the former President Angela Merkel into the fray, or to bring in and advise the Director General of WHO, Ilona Kickbush has been such an influence on global health and a champion on global health. There is also an India connection with Ilona Kickbush. I was almost going to ask her to speak in Tamil. She grew up in Chennai, my city. So, Ilona, thank you for what you do and for championing global health and championing universal health coverage. You could certainly speak in Tamil, but for the rest of the audience, I'll let you speak in English.
taking up the challenge. Malay Vanakam. Namaste. So I'd like to say thank you very much to the organizers of the conference to invite me, partly because of my India connection, as I call it, partly for other reasons, to be a patron of this fantastic conference. And I'm sure my parents, who loved India so much, would be thrilled if they could experience this. As the speakers before me, I'm just going to cut everything I wanted to say, even though that was already relatively short, to make it even shorter, and just make 3 or 4 points. One, that has come out through the speeches of many of the other speakers, that we face a new world of global health. And we don't quite know what that new global world will look like, because we are challenged to shape it. And that's how I see this summit and this conference, as one of the contributions to shape that world. And we know that this world is being shaped in other places than it has been shaped so far. And India, of course, plays a critical role in how we would address these challenges of the 21st century. And to think about this in-between situation, which to some extent is a revolutionary situation, but if you are in a revolution, you never really know that you are acting in a revolution or contributing to one. Just to give 2 or 3 examples, one is we will, in just a couple of years, no longer speak of digital health, because health will be digital. Our lives will be digital. And therefore, putting that phrase, that word in front of anything will be, counterproductive, because that's just how things will be. And that is one of the things that the future of global health holds in store for us. The other is that I don't think we will speak anymore of climate and health or environmental health or things like that. But the issue at stake, and it's reflected in the program of this conference, is planetary health. And we are just learning and shaping what this notion of planetary health implies. And finally, and again a number of speakers have alluded to it, we will move more and more from defining global health from a disease perspective to defining global health from a well-being perspective. And we heard also of the integrated efforts that India is putting forward to create a new type of integrative health service that is not only focused on dealing with disease, but actually has a preventative agenda and is trying to promote well-being, wellness, and so much else that we need for our everyday life. So I think those are 3 major changes that we're experiencing. We're also experiencing that global health will be financed in different ways. We are experiencing that the power in global health is being redistributed quite extensively. And we will have to see in what way we will deal with that also, and it's reflected in the program of this conference, how we will look at that with new eyes and a new type of health diplomacy, where new countries and new stakeholders are going to take the floor. And those new stakeholders definitely include young people, and that's why it's so fantastic that there are so many young people that are here, also because the health agenda of today is also the health agenda of these young people. In the project that I lead, we, together with UNICEF, we interviewed young people all around the world, and their key concern was mental health and well-being. And that, of course, takes us back to this development of a digital world, a digital life, and what
the whole interaction of not living only in this tangible world that you are sitting in still on your chairs, but the virtual world that is so much part of the life of young people. So I think we also will change our notion of what are determinants of health. We have understandings of social determinants, of environmental determinants. Increasingly, I think we will have to speak about digital determinants of health and what this interface of the real and the virtual world will mean for a well-being agenda. So for me, India as a country of rapid change, of significant innovation, and at the same time of deep traditions, India can be crucial in setting this new agenda. You will remember that Mr. Khan spoke about a health tech ecosystem, and it's that kind of thinking that we will have to develop and take forward to sustained global health diplomacy. India started this extraordinary journey, particularly with the G20 agenda, and I hope that this Regional World Health Summit will help take it forward with big steps. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thanks, Ilona. Taking from what you said on planetary health, I've been to many, many conferences, and probably this is one of the firsts where we actually have the Department of Animal Husbandry with us. It's such an honor, sir, to have you. Dr. Abhijit Mitra is the Commissioner of Animal Husbandry. Please give him a big hand.
I could see the hall is empty. And I also could know that you were so right that when I am called, I am either at the last or I am at the first. And that is the status of One Health. And to be very sure, and it's a brute truth, I come from a sector, being a veterinarian, my patients cannot talk back, but they often bite. And sometimes they poop on my shoes, but still I have to treat them to keep you people safe. Because if I don't treat them, they will make you sick. I come from a sector, so from that sector, each one of you, whether you like it or not, you have consumed something today, and you will be consumed something tomorrow, and day after, and so on. Be it milk, meat, egg, even your purse, which you keep in your pocket, or your belt, which you tie in your waist, it comes from my sector, that is livestock sector. And this sector is highly feminized. 65% of this sector are by the women, and they not only produce the protein, which is so very required, but they also take care the livelihood, nutritional security, and community. And they take care of 9 out of 17 SDGs. I can keep on going, but being last, I know that all of you are hungry, and I remind me, last 100 years, whatever the pandemic you have hit in this world, all has a animal origin, including last one, the COVID. So the next pandemic, when it will come, we don't know, but if it comes, it is certain that it will have an animal origin. So to keep the things going, it is so very important that we keep the animal health sector very healthy. And when we mean the One Health, it should be really a One Health. I just leave you with one anecdote reference. I come from Bengal. There is a worship we do, Durga, goddess Durga. You know, it comes with his all sons and daughters. And if you see the whole Durga idol model, all the animals, be it snake, peacock, swan, mouse, owl, everything is in one frame. And that is one health. If you have Durga in the middle, which is the center, and you can keep the god of Ganesha, which keeps all the worries away. You have the strategies, Kartikeya, you have the wealth, Lakshmi, and you have the education, Saraswati, and center Durga, and all the animal kingdom together, and it makes the real One Health, and it is about India, and it is about One Health. And I think I should not be between you and the dinner. Have the products from my sector, be it meat and egg. And next time when you have a World Summit of Health, don't forget to call Animal Husbandry Commissioner at the last. Call him at the first. That will make you the change. And before I end, Dr. Priya, thank you very much again in public. The Pandemic Fund realized that animal health require real funding. So this is the only one project out of 180 projects which was funded by Pandemic Fund generously to strengthen animal health system of India. And I promise you, we promise you that we will deliver it. And next time we'll see the pandemic doesn't hit India. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Dr. Eduardo Banzin, the Director of Health of Asian Development Bank, or DODO, as I would like to fondly call him, has the unique position of closing this very rich discussion. Please welcome.
No, since there's only a few of us, might as well talk to you. You know, I don't want to be here between the animals of. No, the whole day has been a long day, and I think one of the things we realize, well, we always acknowledge, health is complex. Health issues is complex. Health system is complex, and we make it more complex by bringing in the animals. Now we have One Health. We also acknowledge that, in a sense, solving health problems is challenging. Achieving and sustaining UHC is challenging. Getting people to understand One Health is challenging. Getting investment in pandemic preparedness is challenging. We also, of course, positively, and so just how many is left? But to solve all of this, we have to work together. It cannot be solved by doctors. It could not be solved by the government alone, Ministry of Health. It cannot be solved by the private sector, by parliamentarians. We all need to work together. And I think that's another message that we're hearing. So I know it was a long 2 hours, and I have to acknowledge I've actually been so tempted to go up to the 3rd floor, I think, to grab something to eat. But clearly, health is a complex challenge that we have to solve together. And we in the ADB, that has become now our new mantra. We believe that we are here to help our developing member countries help solve complex problems, complex challenges together. And if we keep on working on that, partnership is something that's going to be innate and natural for us. Because as long as we acknowledge that we have to work together, then complex problems like health, like what's happening to health, as what Dr. Samya said, Ilona said, the complex challenges that we're seeing in health. These are just complex challenges that we could solve, just like you guys are still here. No, sorry, I just shifted my time zone to European time zone, so it's about 6 in the evening right now, so it's still early. No, 5. It's 5 p.m. right now, so it's still early for dinner, so, that's a technique, whenever it becomes late, just shift your time zone. Okay, so I think we can close now, and bring them to wherever.
Thank you very much. I'm not surprised that Dodo stood here and spoke, because he's an activist. He's a political activist in health. And it's been absolutely amazing to know what you have done in Philippines and globally. Any place you go to, health insurance. He's done so much work on it. So thank you, Dodo. The next session that we're going to have now is One Health, because he already told us that One Health is the place where health and animal health comes together. So One Health is the next session. Thank you very much for all of you who have stayed, the survivors of this session. I'm going to ask for something which I usually don't do. I'm going to ask all of you to stay seated. The first row, all of us who have been speaking, I want you to stand up, come back here, turn around, and say thank you to everybody who stayed here. Thank you very much. And it's been one of the richest conversations across so many issues, so many sectors. I really want to thank you. We do go for our One Health session. It's on the 3rd floor, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And
Yes.
bon appetit.